Well, joining us now from Oxford is the travel safety expert and author Lloyd Figgins. Lloyd, thank you very much for speaking to us. New Zealand is always regarded as relatively safe. You know, what is the status?
Well, I mean, New Zealand is a safe destination. There's no two ways about that. There's over 3.2 million people who travel to New Zealand every year. And most of those visits, by far and away, are trouble-free. It's got a phenomenal safety record in things outside of, the usual things that backpackers like to do. Things like the adventure travel industry there is very well regulated. And even if you have a look at the area where Grace went missing, on Queen Street in Auckland, a lot of the bars, the hostels, they have security guards on them. So it is a safe destination. And, we see what's going on in Europe at the moment. And actually, we've got to think that New Zealand is not a dangerous place to go, but that doesn't mean that there aren't dangers when you go travelling.
I'm wondering, in terms of dealing with officials when something does go wrong, when I think back to the case of Mia Aleph Chung, the 20-year-old who was killed in Australia, there were the family had a lot of problems of getting information from officials on the ground. What's it like in New Zealand?
Well, in New Zealand, I mean, if you're a British traveller and you're going to New Zealand, then, you need to be working with the Foreign and Commonwealth Office. You need to actually be working with your family at home as well. And there needs to be a combination of different angles that you're going to take if something does go wrong. But this is why people need to make sure that they have an emergency plan in place. And that needs to take into account that if they haven't been heard from, that a procedure will kick into place whereby others can raise the alarm. And that's not unique to New Zealand or to Australia. It's something that people should be doing whenever they're traveling, is making sure that, first of all, they do their preparation before they go. Second of all, that they are situationally aware whilst they're in a particular country or region. And thirdly, that they have an emergency response procedure in case something does go wrong.
Just give us an idea then of what this emergency response procedure should be like. What sort of things should parents or members of the family or friends put in place before the student leaves or the person goes off travelling?
Okay, well, the first thing has got to be communication and making sure that you have different methods of communication. Too often nowadays we rely on high tech, and what I would say is for every high tech solution you have, make sure you've got a low tech or a no tech solution, in order that if there is any failure within the high tech, and that could be that a mobile phone system goes down or you're out of reception, that you've got another way of communicating with people. Or if you are going to be away from communications for a while, let people know, tell them that you're going to a remote region and that you won't hear from them, but then have a check-in time that they can, if you don't make that check-in time, then they can raise the alarm for you.
OK, so when everything goes wrong, you haven't heard from the member of the family who's travelling, where's the first port of call for those who are concerned?
Okay, so first port of call on that is to get hold of the local police and explain to them what that person's movements were, where they were supposed to be, why perhaps they aren't there, and let the police do their work locally. Don't forget, the local police have got the local knowledge. They are best placed in order to actually deal with the situation on the ground. But there's also no harm whatsoever in contacting the local embassy, the British Embassy or consulate, in order to alert them that one of our citizens is actually missing or could potentially be in danger.
OK, Lloyd Figgins, we're going to leave it there for now, but thank you very much for that insight. Thank you.